flow so slick, circus stay garbled. Encrypted hustle, no chains, no marbles. Faster than the rest, cost stays humble. Breaking through the game, watch others crumb. Nobody do it like this. Circuits in the mist, faster, cheaper, sharper, crypto alchemist. Others stuck in the lane, we flipping the twist. Gobble circuits, baby, we the future, don't miss. Others move slow, we quantum and speed. Blocks they can't touch, fulfilling the need. Chains bound tight, but we unshackled. While they debug, our code is tackled. What they can't do, we already done. Their game outdated, we just begun. Algorithms flex, they can't compete. Circuits garble, but the vision concrete. Nobody do it like this. Circuits in the mist, faster, cheaper, sharper, crypto alchemist. Others stuck in the lane, we flipping the twist. Garble circuits, baby, we the future, don't miss.
People are going to hate hearing this, but it's not. It's always about the money, right? But it's also sometimes it's about being part of something. And sometimes when you believe in something, it might not, like even when you're building your own business, you might not be able to pay yourself. Anybody who's built businesses knows that, right? So you believe the dream and you follow it. And that's why I've been here for so long. I'll be honest, speaking myself and maybe some of the other node operators, it's more about supporting the network right now than making money. The people that have stuck it out in terms of mainnet node operators, you're here because you believe in the vision and because you believe that through supporting this network over so many years that there will be a reason. It's just like supporting any business, right? And that's how we look at it now.
What's up, guys, and welcome to episode 11 of COTI Confidential Season 3 on this Friday edition. Soren, what's up, man? How's it going?
Crazy days. I am absolutely out of this world busy, and I know you are too. I've literally just come through the door half an hour ago after a whole day worth of meetings. So, but all good. All good.
Yeah.
We're off to the races, and COTI-wise, it's been a pretty hectic week as well. So I think I think most people are quite excited about all that.
Yeah, and I gotta apologize for the little bit of a pump fake that we had to postpone and move things around. Soren and I, the first one was on me, and then Soren and I trying to find an hour that worked for us, and this was it. So thanks for tuning in, even though we kind of messed you guys around a little bit there. But I guess, as we like to always start these things off, let's go with the confidential brief.
Yeah, let's do that. And of course, this week's been all about COTI going into pump mode, catapulting from 0.7 cents to 2.1 cents in just the space of 72 hours. Trading volumes are absolutely off the charts. I don't recall. Yeah, I could be wrong here, but I don't recall seeing anything like this ever before. I'm just checking here. We're well over 7 billion COTI traded on Binance only in the last four and a half days. And yeah, for those who want to know the math behind that, that's twice the circulating supply of COTI, more than twice. You add the other exchanges in, we're probably close to 3 times the circulating supply. So very, very impressive, and our community are quite rightly super excited about it. Now, I am not the expert on token pumps, so I cannot and will not speculate on whether it's a short squeeze or a merit pump. I'll leave that to people who are much smarter than me. Personally, I think there's a bit of both at play here. What is actually the best part of all this is not that the token price has done a 2 to 3x. Yeah, we're at such low levels that doesn't really matter. What really excites me is that we're getting so many eyes on the project and what's being built, because there's literally next to nothing in crypto that's doing what COTI is doing at the moment. So it shows up in everyone's feeds, and I'm sure there's a lot of people taking a look at what's going on here. What are they actually doing? So you know, we all know that it's super hard. It's incredibly hard, almost impossible sometimes, to penetrate the noise in this space and let people know that you're actually building something cool. So, you know, a little bit of crazy chart action is sure to aid our cause in that respect. So let's talk a little bit about what it is that COTI is building. So for those who may be listening in who doesn't know COTI that well, two of our OG community members, they describe it actually in terms that I really like. Our good friend and partner in crime, COTI Ship, describes this as the go-to privacy layer. So basically an imported tech stack that blockchains will use in the same way that laptop manufacturers, as a good example, will use. They will go to Microsoft for their operating system for their product. You know, you don't have 25 or 125 different laptop manufacturers all inventing their own operating system. They use what's already there. Michael Gladbone describes it as the standard privacy layer, drawing comparisons to Chainlink. So basically, the privacy layer that is available to all major chains and allows them to do private things with each other. Same way that Chainlink, as the name suggests, connects everyone. Yeah, regardless of whether you're an EVM chain or any other kind of chain. So little bit, and those are, you know, essentially two sides of the same coin. So COTI wants to be the go-to privacy tech stack in blockchain. Of course, this is both aspirational and inspirational at the same time. It's aspirational because we are by no means, of course, should be obvious to everyone, we are neither Microsoft nor Chainlink yet. But COTI has been busy building and shipping all the basic infrastructure, including private stablecoin. They've added COTI Nightfall to the portfolio to strengthen compliance credentials and to broaden the spectrum of use cases with a very, very battle-tested and compliance-tested CK protocol. Two major chains have been signed up, Ethereum and AVAX, and both looking likely to become major hubs for institutionalized capital. And this is exactly where COTI wants to play. This is where all the money is. This is where all the heavy transaction volume is. And just as a footnote, AVAX Avalanche is not officially confirmed, but it's not exactly a secret anymore either. You can go to GitHub, you can read some of the tweets pushed by various community members, including from the COTI team. So it's pretty much the world's worst kept secret at this stage. Now, to be clear, we still have some way to go on this. Privacy on demand will soon need to prove itself live. And, you know, I have no doubt that it'll shine. The team knows what it is they've built, and they know they've already had some good dry runs in making sure this works. Yeah. And we need to add many more chains. Yeah. And by the sound of Shahab's latest update, that is indeed an ongoing process. And the best thing really about all of this, for those people who are now taking a look at COTI and having a look at what they're actually doing, COTI are miles ahead of everyone else developing privacy. Garbage Circuits is exceptional in its performance. It's faster and lighter by several orders of magnitude. We have so many use cases already live today. Everyone else, bar none, have at least 1 to 2 years to go to get to where we are. Yeah, so we really have, whether we want to or not, we have an advantage because everyone else have got to go through the staggered launch of their mainnets. They can't switch everything on at the same time. It's got to be audited from here to high heaven, and everything they build is being built on their protocol for the first time. So, and COTI's been through all of this pain now. We don't have to spend another year and a half doing all that. We've been through it. So we are way ahead of everyone else. Privacy on demand is unlike anything else out there. There's no one else offering what we're offering. And with programmable compliance and programmable compliance, programmability and compliance being an absolute must for tokenizing everything, COTI has, in my opinion, stolen several steps on the rest. Price action is what it is. And of course, I like it when it's positive, but as we never do in this show, we're not going to tell you to buy. We're not going to tell you to sell. We're going to tell you to believe and to be unashamedly bullish, because we are. And when COTI pulls this off, everything else will take care of itself. The dominoes will start to fall, and this will happen probably fairly soon. I don't think we're far away from either Ethereum or AVAX going live. So those were the words for this edition of the brief.
Another excellent brief, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
That was awesome. Yeah, I'm not going to get too. I'll say one thing about price action, and I said it in COTI Confidential. I don't get excited or start writing home until I start to see the paint on the 1 week chart, right? And so Soren did kind of twist my arm to like, hey, look at this for a minute. And so I did pull up a one week, and what impressed me more than anything on that 1 week chart was the volume bar. Holy cow, that was impressive. Very exciting.
You had actually a very large green candle and a very large red candle on the weekly back in September, I believe it was. Yeah. And if you look at the volumes from back then, the volumes were nothing. Yeah. The green candle, and the candles were a lot bigger. They were like 3 times the size of this candle. But the green candle had just shy of 1 billion tokens for the week, and the red candle had just shy of 1.4 billion. We are on this week's candle closing in on 8 billion.
But this is kind of what I mean here, right? Like what we're looking at here is when you start to see paint in the 1 week, then and it sustains for a couple days, then it starts to get exciting. I mean, we can all see the chart. We know what it looks like, right? So it's not like, we're not, we didn't win the race yet, but it's nice to have that relief finally after, what we've been dealing with for a while. So, I mean, it's great. I love it.
Yeah. What are your thoughts on, if you have any thoughts, I don't know. But what are your thoughts on this pump? Is it a short squeeze or is it something else? Because it actually once we started pushing the repost of that guy who'd been testing on AVAX, that was actually when this thing kicked off. He had posted it a couple of days earlier than that, and nothing had happened. Then we as a community picked it up, and things started happening. Now, that could just be a coincidence. It easily could, actually. But it kicked off round about then. But it has all the hallmarks of a short squeeze as well.
It's hard to believe that it's not having something to do with that because the timing was just kind of perfect. A little while ago, I started following a lot of AVAX, centric stuff. And it's been really, there's a lot of echoing going on with some of the stuff that Amateo and COTI has been saying and some of the stuff that Shahaf talked about in terms of, signing a chain that has the institutional adoption. And I think just while we're here for a second, let me just rip that quick clip really quickly, and then let's talk about it.
We've already signed our first major chain beyond Ethereum. I won't be sharing the name here yet, but it's exactly the profile we're targeting. A chain where institutional adoption is real and privacy is a requirement, not a nice to have. Now, focus means choosing. Over the years, we've built a lot, and not everything we built deserves the same energy today. So we're going to clear some things out, getting rid of the old to make space for the new. And when those decisions land, you'll hear them from me directly with proper reasoning.
You guys may have noticed that near the end of the video, he said that not everything worked, not everything is working. So it's time to clear some things out, get rid of the old, and make space for the new. When you heard that, Soren, what were you thinking it meant, just out of curiosity?
I don't have any clues as to what Shahaf specifically is referring to, if I'm being totally honest.
You do have to wonder, we've been here for a long time, you gotta wonder if there isn't a new twist, something different coming there. I guess we'll just have to wait and see. Make space for the new. I don't know if he means stuff that we already know is coming or if there's new things coming, but that's gonna be interesting to find out. Clear some things out and get rid of the old, make space for the new. I wasn't expecting that. So I am really interested to see what those next steps are gonna be like.
Oh, it'll be very interesting to see.
The difference.
So for anybody who's been paying attention, there's been a lot of speculation about AVAX, right? Even before Shahaf dropped this video. Then he said, a chain where institutional adoption already exists, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So those things if you're paying attention, you knew it was AVAX. Shahaf kind of basically told us it was, or, validated what the community was seeing. So I think why is this important to what we're talking about right now? I think it's people who are paying attention to that AVAX being real, and then possibly even what Shahaf is alluding to here, where there's something big coming, something different, something that we're not expecting. That's what I'm thinking. So if, for me, this AVAX thing, like I even said it's not about price action. It's about validating what COTI has built, somebody who's going to use it that have, their own people to put on the line. You know what I mean? Like AVAX has their institutional adoption and they saw something in privacy on demand and they're willing to put that up. They're willing to co-market it. Basically, they're willing to be a part of it. So you know what I'm saying, man? It's finally, the pieces are finally coming together. And I think that's kind of what's happening here. I think people were waiting. People have been on the sidelines for a long time. They've been watching what we're building, but they're waiting for somebody else to come in, is what I'm trying to say. And now that's really happening. And somebody like AVAX, that's a little bit of a hype there. So I don't know if you agree with me, but it's got to be this.
100%, yeah. I firmly believe that once AVAX Privacy on Demand goes live, and hopefully everyone's delighted, and hopefully everything works, the dominoes are going to fall pretty quickly. Yeah. At that time, around about that same time, hopefully Ethereum will be live as well, both with Garble Circuits and with Nightfall. So for people who are looking at privacy, they have got, at that point, they've got to start to wonder, okay, so you got two of the biggest RWA centric chains. They're both using GC EVM. Why are we not using GC EVM? Yeah, and I think the dominoes will fall at that point. That's just my personal take on that.
Trying to gather my thoughts on what I was trying to say there, and I guess it's hard to be the first player to trust the infrastructure, right? You know what I mean? Yeah. Everybody's kind of, I've said this for a long time. Everybody's kind of looking around. It's like, you go first. No, you go first. Like nobody, it was kind of like, you know, opening the treasury to the US. Nobody wanted to be the first, right? We still don't have the Clarity Act. And I guess, you know, privacy on demand, it's kind of like that too. It's like, why should we be the first? Why should we take the risk? And I guess privacy is great, right? Privacy is the narrative, but privacy is meaningless without trust, right?
Yeah.
And I guess so why COTI and why privacy on demand? One thing that I really think sets us apart, other than tech, because there are going to be other people that are going to come along and they're going to have offerings, right? There already is. Ours is a little bit, it's niche right now. It's special, but it won't be forever. Why COTI? Well, this isn't some new project, you know, that's just jumped in and say, we're going to offer privacy, trust us for your privacy, because privacy is great until there's a breach. And then your privacy is useless, right? So COTI had been in the market for almost 10 years without vulnerabilities, right? Without breaches. So it's another feather in our cap, in my opinion. It's another reason why, you know, we're the one to trust. So now if we have players like this with real institutional adoption who are willing to go public seemingly soon to say, hey, we're using COTI's privacy on demand, right?
Yeah.
We have, you know, it goes back to people saying, well, when we pivoted, why didn't we change the name? It would have been better off if we did this. And now it's starting to like the way I'm looking at it, I look at it going, this makes sense why we didn't change our name, why we didn't start over. Because now there's this prestige in terms of being like, not only from day one, COTI's mission was to be compliant with payments, right? But regulatory friendly and compliant. So yes, they've pivoted away from payments, which is still possible, but they kind of wrapped it up more in the privacy spectrum, but it's still like the vision is still so similar, right? So you can look back to inception and go, look, this company has always been about regulatory compliance. They've always been about, you know, those regulatory compliance, and now it's not payments, it's privacy. There's a good track record there. We have players on board. I don't know, man. I'm excited. I'm having trouble finding my words, but these are the things I'm seeing coming together right now.
Yeah, and actually there is a very large payments aspect to, for instance, AVAX, yeah, because it's a lot of value transfers back and forth. They're one of the biggest players in U.S. Treasuries. Overall in RWA, I think the TVL for AVAX, large part of it with Aave, but the overall is around $8 billion. So in blockchain, in overall terms, still tiny, but in blockchain terms, they're quite massive, yeah? And I'm sure, as you pointed out in the beginning, I'm sure there's a bit of a leap of faith here. Yeah, because probably are a fair few chains that are thinking, all right, well, I want to try, but let someone else try first. Yeah, I'm gonna get in when all the hard work's been done and you know all the kinks have been ironed out. So yeah, there is for sure a little bit of a leap of faith in this.
I think it's a great time to quote a famous Soren quote here. And it was coined for a different reason back in the day, but now again, I think we're at the point where one could be a flute. Two, it's fluke. Two, it's starting to get interesting. Three, we're starting to see a trend, and that's what we're hoping for with AVAX, right?
Yeah.
It's like AVAX is the first. 2, it gets interesting. Somebody else like AVAX, and 3, we're starting to see a trend. And I think this is what we need to happen here in terms of privacy on demand.
Yeah, and I think once AVAX is live and Ethereum is live, I think we're gonna get to there pretty quickly. Yeah, and of course we're not talking weeks. We're talking months, because still everything has to be integrated. But I think announcements could come at a fairly rapid clip once this goes live, and once it shows itself to be stable and reliant and doing what it says on the packing that it's going to do. Yeah, and I know for a fact that it's being tested to the umpteenth degree right now. There's a ton of work going into making sure that everything works exactly the way it's intended to. So.
Yeah, and I gotta apologize, guys. I'm Tracer's rattled right now, and struggled to get here for the show. Soren knows why. It has nothing to do with anything going on here. I'm quite excited about the price action, but it's not, honestly, for me, it's more about having an amped up community for what Soren and I do in terms of educate and trying to be hype men. It's not really the right term, but it's so much easier when everybody's feeling positive, right? I don't know about you, Soren, but the engagement for the last week has been like, oh, this is what it used to be like back in the day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's
and
exactly
it's
what
so
it's been.
Dead.
Yeah.
It's been so.
I've totally agreed. These last 4 or 5 days have been really busy, both inside crypto and outside of. Both you and I have lives outside of crypto. Maybe a surprise to a few, but we do. But it's been incredibly exciting. Everyone's totally stoked with what's going on, and everyone's watching the charts on a 5-minute basis and commenting on every green candle. Now we're pumping again. Now we're dumping. It's a pump and dump. No, wait, it's not. But those levels of excitement, we haven't seen them in a long time. And of course, that pumps aren't going to go on forever. It's gonna stop at some point. I don't know when. I don't know where it's gonna stop. I have absolutely no idea. But it's super exciting for me as well. Much nicer than than being in the depths of a bear market and everyone yelling obscenities at you. This is much nicer. Yeah. And like I said, it puts so many eyes on COTI, and that's really what we should all be wishing for. Yeah.
This week on Tracer says, no, just kidding. But for me, it's the 1 week chart is the only chart that I'm ever going to get excited for or make decisions based on. Right. I'm not really a make decisions on charts kind of guy. I've been working on to put together a video lately about how to build a bias, right? How I built my bias with COTI in the first place. Where do you start? What's FOMO? And man, I wanted to have that for today. And so I'm not going to go into it too much, but I've always been a fundamental analysis guy. That's how I got here in the first place. And the fundamentals are looking stronger than ever for me. But getting back to engagement and, a happy community, it's things like this where you see people starting to come back. And I know, Pastor Scott's been around, you know what I mean? But first of all, it's a great comment. I like that too. But it's just nice to see people coming back, So sometimes, it feels like the community is not there. Sometimes the community is just quiet because it's depressing. You know what I mean? And it's depressing everywhere. So it is nice to see a little bit of hopium. It is nice to see a little bit of green. And it's nice, more than the green, it's nice to sustain it. Right? So that's exciting for me. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I'll start to get excited when we start hitting the $300 to $400 million market cap. Yeah. That's where I'm going to get proper excited, and that's what 10, 11, 12 cents. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that
But
may
that's
also, it may or may not have to do with a prediction I made a little bit early in the year.
Oh yeah.
I cannot confirm and I cannot deny that. So,
But yeah, like this down here, this is depressing, this is boring, this is nothing happening. This is what happens when the community shows up. This is what happens when the news goes beyond the standard people that, subscribe to COTI's channels. This is what happens when there's good news and people share it. Like our community is powerful. You know what I mean? And so
yeah.
co-marketing with AVAX, even in the most, like, this is unofficial confirmation here. And this is huge. So who knows?
Yeah, it was
right?
it's a bit of guerrilla marketing, wasn't it? We picked up on a post that was shared. It wasn't even a new post. It was a couple of days old, as far as I know. And then we started sharing it around on Telegram, and we started sharing it on X and wherever else. And it may have been a total coincidence, but within 30 minutes, things started to go nuts. So
yeah, like just
I don't think it was purely a coincidence. Maybe somebody had been planning a short squeeze already and thought, well, here's a good excuse to do that. We can mask it as something else. I don't know. I honestly don't know, and I don't care. Not too much, to be perfectly honest. I just like that we're getting a little bit of validation and we're showing up on the right people's feeds, because I know that we are. Yeah. When there's nothing else in crypto happening, all sorts of people start pushing these one or two tokens that just happen to pump on the day.
Here's just some context for people who don't look at charts very much. This is the last 5 days, and this is what the previous 5 days looked like before that, right? This is when there is a juicy, something juicy in the news. This is what it's like when you start trending on Binance. This is what it's like when the community shows up. This is what it's like when, the candles align, if you want to call it. So it's just like, guys, like there's the story, right? And the nice thing is, everybody says, or, you'll see this a lot, is we have a history of pumping and then retracing. We got days on the chart here. Is it going to come back down to where it was here? Maybe, sure. But this is what's exciting about it. This is not a standard trend for us lately. This is something new. This is a breakout. You can call it, like, you can come at me if you want. This is a breakout. Okay. No matter how you look at it, it's abnormal chart pattern, right? I'm not going to go into some crazy technical analysis with you. I'm going to say it how it is. This is a breakout. And, you could look at a specific candle. You could look at support resistance levels. We could draw a bunch of lines on the chart, but this is the easiest way to say it. Look, flat breakout.
Yeah.
Without getting boring.
Yeah. And even if it does retrace, back to 7 cents, let's say we get a full retrace. Imagine all the free marketing we've had. Yeah, imagine all that free marketing for pretty much a full week, priceless. Yeah, and it won't change. It won't change what's being built on Sepolia. It won't change what's being tested right now on Fuji. It won't change any of those things. They are coming no matter what. Yeah, and yeah. So as price action for me gets interesting 5x from here. Then I'll start to pay a little bit more attention. Right now, it's just nice because it keeps us in the conversation, and it keeps us in a conversation where we should have been a long time ago. But it's difficult. It's not easy to penetrate all this noise in this space.
I told Soren when Soren asked me about, pulling up a chart, I told him, I said, like, and he'll know this, like, I don't even have this price line on my charts because that's not really what I look at when I look at charts. I did turn it on today just so you guys could see it there, the dotted line, if you can see it. It's about what it's this. it's this. These are the kinds of things, like, you know, we could go in here and we could talk about all these kinds of things, but that's not what it's about for me right now. Like, we all know where we came from, right? Most of us are way under our original buy levels, right? But it is nice to see some hope. It is nice to see some recognition, and let's keep an eye on it.
Yeah, and don't you think, Tracer, that if this was just a pure unadulterated short squeeze, yeah, price would have shot up to 3 or 4 cents and then dumped right back down to a cent, yeah. And it would they wouldn't need, you know, if somebody wants to short squeeze, they don't need 5 or 6 days to do it, do they? Yeah.
In my opinion, it would be abnormal. We're coming into the weekend. I mean, it's the weekend for you. It's almost the weekend for me. It's crypto 24/7. I understand all that kind of stuff. It doesn't feel like it. Sometimes, you know, feelings don't mean anything.
No.
But I'm not an expert on that kind of stuff. I'm also heavily biased to the upside, right?
Of course.
So it's really hard for me to say. We watch as a community, and Soren and I watch every move that COTI is making. So when you see something like this, it's, you know, when you're talking about a short squeeze, when you see something like this, it is exciting. Most of us, because of the way COTI works, we're in the treasury already. Like, we have traders in the community, but I think the vast majority of the COTI army has heavily been, you know, stakers. It's like I said on one of the other shows, and people might not like this, but COTI's revenue model has never been just about price action. It's been about staying the course, reaping some juicy APYs, and then, you know, seeing a benefit that way, right? No, it doesn't work great when price goes down all the time, but that's out of their control. What's in their control is tokenomics, adoption, etc. So
absolutely.
That's
I'm just gonna, now you mentioned the treasury, I'm just gonna pull up the treasury. We were at about somewhere like 410 million COTI staked, yeah. And we've always had this argument that you know, the amount of COTI staked, if price goes up, that should go up as well. If my browser will... maybe gone up a little. Actually, it's hard. To be fair, it's hardly moved at all. It's 408.5 million COTI. So it might have gone up by 1 million or 2. I couldn't tell because it's been a while since I looked at the treasury. But I think if we catch a level that is significantly higher than the 0.7 cents, and we sort of consolidate around there, I think we're going to see COTI treasury also benefit from that. And you know, out with the old, in with the new. There is for sure one thing that Shahab's thinking about. That's a new treasury in the nodes ecosystem. So hopefully that will finally make its entry in the not too distant future. Yeah, we don't know. Just as a footnote, we don't know anything that you, the community, don't know. So we don't have any secret knowledge about this, but it shouldn't be too far away. I know I keep saying that, but it shouldn't be.
But do you really think that's what he's alluding to? Stuff that we already know about?
That's the only thing I can think about. Maybe he wants to get two slightly more handsome guys as ambassadors, you know, out with the old, in with the new.
Yeah.
Maybe he saw. Maybe he saw the clown pictures of me and thought, no, we're not having any more clowns on the ambassador roster.
Yeah, I mean, I guess, you know, we'll probably survive till 5-10 cents, but after that,
we're toast.
COTI Confidential might look a lot different. No, but yeah, like in all seriousness, COTI Confidential is is a community venture between Soren and I and the rest of the community. We have a lot of admins in COTI Confidential, so a lot of people who, you know, had a hand in building it and promoting it.
Lots of people
Stefanos
helping
being
out.
one of them, right?
Yeah.
Stefanos put the original infrastructure together, and man, CipherTrade is such a powerful wallet.
And you know what? This is, you know, with so much COTI being, and I posted it a few days back before the brief, you know, with so much COTI being traded and so many new people presumably coming into the ecosystem and now either holding a lot more COTI than they used to or started holding COTI for the first time. If any of you are listening, unlikely, but if any of you are listening, go and download the CipherTrade wallet. Yeah, it's on iOS, it's on Android. It's a super crisp and clean user interface. You can stake, you can swap, you can do anything within our ecosystem. You can do it from that. It's got the same level of functionality as you get with a MetaMask, but it's a
way higher.
Much nicer interface, and it's got the one thing that it's got several things that MetaMask doesn't have. It's got a private chat, it's got private tokens straight off the bat. Everything, you know, at the core of the CipherTrade wallet is Garbage circuits. Yeah, Stefanos doesn't get enough credit, not even remotely enough credit for what he's built. It's a community-driven project, i.e. Stefanos being the community in this case, and it's the only true COTI wallet. So please go out and download it. Give Stefanos a little bit of a break as well. Let him feel all the positivity around this. We need hundreds of people to go out and download CipherTrade wallet and use it. Simple as that.
No, it is true about CipherTrade. Like, if you want to rock around the COTI ecosystem without a bunch of, you know, add-ons, if you just want to do it all in one, it is COTI's all-in-one wallet, in my opinion.
It is.
I think that is the opinion, you know. So it'll be interesting to see what happens with CipherTrade in the future, right?
We said a year ago we want a COTI wallet that has privacy at its core, and a COTI wallet where you can, from that wallet, you can explore the whole ecosystem, and we want it to be nice and user-friendly. And to be honest, Stefan, when I compare MetaMask and CipherTrade on UI, yeah, MetaMask is a mess. Yeah, CipherTrade is clean and crisp. You can see exactly what you got in your wallet and what's the value of it. Yeah. Even some of the silly tokens that we have in our ecosystem actually has a bit of value attached to them, believe it or not. And you got the public tokens, you got the private tokens, so you can do all that good stuff right there from the wallet.
Every aspect of CipherTrade was built with COTI's solutions in mind, right?
Yes.
And when you go to MetaMask right now, like, we're still an extension, right? If you really want to reap the benefits of the system, if you want to see your tokens clearly, you know, without having to do jump through a bunch of hoops and everything, like, CipherTrade is the wallet. Like, it is the wallet. Is that your dog? What is that?
Yeah, he's choking.
I was hearing that earlier, and I was like, what? Like, I have some kind of interference. If you want to download if you just head to the oh my God, man!
If
like,
you're on
finding
Android, if
words
you're on Android,
today,
you get it. Yeah, if you're on Android, you get it through the Google Play Store. If you're on iOS, you get it you got to download Test Flight, which is the app for testing apps that have still not been released into the wild. I'm an iOS guy, and I use CipherTrade through Test Flight, and works cool. No, it works perfectly. No issues whatsoever.
finding words today not working so well, but we do have a QR code here that is for CipherTrade. I think it's just ciphertrade.org too, right? So, but I mean, come to COTI Confidential, Telegram. There'll be links all over there. No, he's not paying. He's definitely not paying us because nobody's paying him. So let's get serious about that. But I think what Soren is trying to say about CipherTrade is he likes it. Why Soren likes it so much is because you can tip him on it. And that's, I think, what he's setting up here. That's the long con that Soren's got going on, right?
Absolutely.
You're going to promote CipherTrade and then you're going to get a bunch of tips coming in.
Yeah, I'm just turning the color down a little bit because I'm blushing like mad now. You just totally caught me with my shorts down. No, but it was built. It was built for the COTI community. It was built with a COTI tech in mind, and it was actually built using the COTI tech. And Stefanos will tell you if you ask him. It was actually remarkably straightforward to use the SDKs that COTI made available to build things like this. So, but really, what I'm crazy about is you can do everything from the wallet. You can truly do everything from the wallet. You don't have to jump through a million different hoops, and it's got all the major networks on it as well, including AVAX. And I believe you can even portal public AVAX to private AVAX and back and forth, and you can do all sorts of things. No, you can't find it on iOS. You have to go and download Test Flight for your iPhone. And then when you're on Test Flight, you find it there. You go to find it inside the Test Flight app. It is not yet released in the Apple App Store. It's still going through the testing, but it is fully functional. There's no limitations at all, but through Test Flight.
Okay, so really, what it's going to take for iOS is funding, right? It's just it can't. It's unsustainable to self-fund this and have it. So that's why you got to jump through hoops. There is a QR code here, but yeah, it's is CipherTrade org. I'm going to check this before I keep saying that, but yeah. Yes, CipherTrade.org. Let's pull it up. What else is going on, Soren?
What else is going on?
Like price, price action is the big news, right? AVAX is the big news.
These are the big things. A lot of people are starting to look now at our GitHub repositories after also Stefanos started talking about what he had found when he looks through GitHub. So lots of interesting information can be gleaned from in there. But yeah, I mean, this week's been all about the pump, obviously. So that's really what's going on, and it's still ongoing.
All right, so there's your link for CipherTrade.org. You can find your way through Test Flight there, I'm sure. But yeah, let's get everybody on CipherTrade because that's the wallet, man. Yeah,
and all the other good projects we have in the ecosystem. Crafter, I think, have the Crafter got an extension now on CipherTrade as well? What do you say?
I don't believe Wallet Connect is enabled on Crafter yet. I could be wrong, but I don't think that's.
But it'll come. I'm sure it'll come soon. We have so many nice projects in the community, and probably over the next 2 or 3 shows, we should maybe revisit some of these projects because with the growing interest in COTI, we should also match that with a growing publicity in and around all the nice things that are being built.
So there you go. There's the call out to anybody who's built something on COTI. If you want to be on the next 2 or 3 COTI Confidentials, hit Soren or I up, and we'll give you a little feature.
Absolutely, we will. 10-20 minutes minimum.
So I believe there is a spiel on security on the website, so you can take a look. And again, I know we both know Stefanos personally. He has been a long-term community member. He has built tons of tools for the COTI ecosystem. He is built with the COTI ecosystem unofficially. So it's always DYOR. But yes, Cypher Trade, like I'm sure Soren and I will go on the record saying Cypher Trade is absolutely safe to use. And if you have any questions about the security or something and you want to talk to the builder, come into COTI confidential Telegram, and you'll speak to him personally, and you'll find an army of people backing him up.
Yeah, I know Stefanos has been very, very, very conscious about the security aspects of this. So I think it's safe to say he's made it as safe and secure as he possibly can. He's got built-in threat intelligence, so. I know it's really a super it's a super way to keep your COTI and to engage with the ecosystem from one location in a nice, crisp, clean way. So
yeah. So I don't know, man. I think we're almost at the hour.
We are almost there. Yeah, absolutely. We will. We'll keep an eye on the pump over the weekend. Yeah, normally volumes will start to go down a little bit, so maybe that's what we should be expecting over the weekend. But we'll see. It'll be an interesting barometer. A, what the volumes look like, and B, what sort of chart movements we get over the weekend. We'll see.
So yeah, kind of like what we've said before. The community is powerful when they band together. So when you see good content, like some of the stuff that COTI shared, Gladbone shared, there's a bunch of community members that stepped up with some threads. And
yeah,
you know, I can go after them and say,
sorry for interrupting. There's a guy called Steve, ZEEV, who's done quite a bit of looking around on the GitHub. Quite interesting guy. Sorry for the interruption. I just want to make sure he gets a mention.
Yeah. And so instead of criticizing these people for throwing a post up with maybe a little bit of AI use, or maybe shaming people who have been gone for a while who come back, just, you know, let's try to be a positive, welcoming community and maybe applaud them for putting something together and welcoming our community members back, because we need them, right? So yeah, self-shaming and, you know, making people feel unwelcome is not really a great look. So let's not do that. We already have one place that tries to vilify everything that the community does, and we just don't need that. We are not historically a toxic community, and Soren and I don't stand for any of that kind of stuff. So you know, even in COTI Confidential's Telegram, you'll see some, you know, things that aren't, you know, always totally positive. It's criticism. Criticism is okay. Asking questions is okay. Being upset with the markets is okay. But when you take it beyond a certain level, it's just not good for anybody, right? No. So let's celebrate what COTI is building. Let's celebrate that we're seeing validation in the news and on the chart. When we start painting the chart like this on the weekly, that's when I start to get excited, because it looks like we're seeing some validation for the efforts. And that's everything from Tracer. What do you got, man? Are you good? Are we ready to go?
Yeah, no, that's it. Those are the words for this week. But for sure, be in no doubt, we will be back quite soon. And I think also when we come back next time, hopefully we will have the good Mr. Amateo join us to give us the inside perspective as well.
Yeah, Amateo actually wanted to be here today, but I kind of messed him around with scheduling, and he has his hands full big time with work and home life lately. So we're going to forgive him for this one, but hopefully he'll be here at the next one. And that's it for us for this episode 11 for Soren and I from coast to coast and around the world. Thank you for being here. Thank you for filling up the comment section, and we'll see you next week or something like it. Take care, guys.
Something like it.
Prophecy is live now. across every network. But private means different things underneath the surface. Who can read the data? Who gets plain text access? Who keeps it encrypted all the way through the process? Two networks say the same thing, printed on the same box. One lets an operator look, one keeps the whole path locked. It's not cosmetic, it's not just the claim, it's the cryptography that writes the name. Who can actually read it, who can't touch the line? That's the question every single time. Privacy is the standard, the approach is the difference. Privacy is the standard, show me what your system does. Keep it private, keep it live, not a promise on a slide. Privacy is the standard, the approach is the difference. COTI uses garbled circuits, contracts on encrypted data. Nobody can see inside on any device. Standard solidity. COTI GC, privacy is live, not theoretical. Built for real production, built for something measurable. The COTI token powers private moves across chains, protocols and programmable privacy solutions in the frame. Institutional money won't move blind in the light. Traders need their strategies out of everyone's sight. So the answer isn't if, it's how you deliver and what you give up when you cross that river. Privacy is the standard, the approach is the difference. Privacy is the standard, show me what your system does. Keep it private, keep it live, not a promise on a slide. Privacy is the standard, the approach is the difference. 4 ways to make it private, same word, different math. Who sees the truth? Who walks the path? Permission views encrypted end-to-end, disclosure by design, or trust in the end. Privacy is the standard, the approach is the difference. Privacy is the standard.